And the wheels going round. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the show. You've got me, you've got Jeff, and you've got this little guy. How you doing, Jeff?
I'm doing good. I'm in Alamogordo, New Mexico. I'm not very far from where they set off the first nuclear bomb. It's 102 degrees. So hot out there. You wonder whether life is worth living.
That's really, really hot. 102 degrees. Whoa, I'm glad I'm not sitting out there. How's your week been? What you been up to, Brad?
I have been all over God's creation the last week or so. I actually ran out of hours on my electronic clock, so I'm taking today off so I can get some hours back.
Because you've been working really hard and driving all sorts of hours this week, haven't you?
Yeah, it's been an adventure, yes.
That's a good way of putting it. Well, I've had a bit of a week. I just today I've been to Bristol to the Clifton Suspension Bridge. Everybody knows the Clifton Suspension Bridge. It's an amazing construction spanning the gorge in Bristol, designed and started by Brunel, but finished sadly after his death. And I went to see some chambers today underneath one of the towers. Each of those towers that support the bridge is 4,000 tons. That's a lot of weight. And Brunel wanted to make the bridge more balanced and the span shorter. But watch for the video. There'll be more news about that coming up soon. But it was an interesting trip. Really enjoyed that. What did I do yesterday? I went, we've got some footage to show you, to Weston-super-Mare. If you're not local, Weston-super-Mare is a seaside resort about 15 miles from 20 miles from where I'm sat now. And it has a subscriber there called Barry. More on that later. How's the comments going, Jeff? Have we got many in?
Yeah, we have quite a few with us tonight. Of course, we have Roland Barr with us. Good evening, Roland. And we have the station master. Greetings, Gabe and Jeff and Roland. We have the Wandering Ponderer with us tonight. He, of course, is having major internet issues, which is very sad. He says, I may not last too long. My mobile phone needs charging and my Wi-Fi is unstable.
But there is a resolution in sight around about the 20th. So after the 20th, Dave will be back bigger and better than ever before. And yes, that will be good.
Station master says, as long as you are not too unstable, my friend. Roland is asking what time zone I'm in. You know, I don't know. I think I'm still in mountain. I'm in mountain time zone, but I'm not going to be in mountain time zone too long. Only for another couple hundred miles, and then I go back in central.
What is the time there right now, Jeff?
It is 1:03. Yes, so I'm still in mountain. Yes.
1:03, so you can work it out from there, Roland. 7 hours behind us here in the UK at the moment with our summertime stuff going on. Interestingly, there's a period where their summertime and our summertime doesn't match up, and it gets really interesting, doesn't it, Jeff?
Oh, it gets crazy because, of course, Arizona doesn't. They don't change their clock for the summer, so you have California on one time and Arizona on another. It gets crazy. We have Ryan with us tonight. Hello, Ryan.
Hello, Ryan. We were going to put a big shout out for you tonight, weren't we? How you doing, buddy? I hope you're well. You went to Bristol yesterday, didn't you? Because I had this message from Ryan. Are you on your way to Bristol? And I said, no, Weston-super-Mare. I'm going to Bristol. I think he had his hair cut when he was there. And he sent me a picture and he's looking very well groomed, shall we say, to within an inch of his life. Very groomed. And speaking of which, I've been having thoughts about going to a hairdresser. Last time I don't remember. I normally go with a number 3 or something, but the trouble is it just grows back into this disorganized mess, and I think it needs shaping. The elephant in the room, or should I say the keep-on in the room, is this little chap here. How you doing? Yeah? Really? Now, he has been told he's got... Finished? He has been told he has... Yes, you have been told. He has been told that he has to behave himself tonight, otherwise there's a big bin over there and he's going in it. Oopsie daisy, I didn't say the word bin. No, don't sulk. Don't sulk. No, don't sulk. Anyway, this is Keep On. He's going to be here from now on as part of the show. Yes, providing he behaves himself. Just to make comments, and he will tell you what he thinks in no uncertain terms quite often. And we just thought it'd be nice to have him along for the ride. So that's Keep On. Now, any more comments, Jeff, before I carry on?
We have Barry West with us tonight. So I guess it's a good thing he apparently doesn't have his class. Hi, Jeff and Gabriel. Great to spend the day with you yesterday, Gabriel. And it was really good speaking to you, Jeff.
Yesterday, I went to Weston-super-Mare and I met the wonderful Barry, who I've met before, because Weston-super-Mare feels like it's a long way away, but it isn't really. And Barry's often in Glastonbury. In fact, we were talking about people we know in Glastonbury. It was quite crazy, but we had a lovely day. Barry is a really interesting man, and we're going to be talking to him more later on in other videos. He was a miner, but he actually... Yeah, a miner. But he actually remembers, yes, working with pit ponies. There aren't many people around who can relate to that experience now. Very interesting man. So we'll be talking to him more, but I'm glad he's turned up now because we've got a couple of film clips from yesterday that I wanted to show you. The first is we're talking to Barry because one of his jobs since he's lived in Weston-super-Mare was he managed the Winter Gardens. And this is what he had to tell us about that. We're here now at the Winter Gardens, where Barry... How long do you work here for, Barry?
I worked here probably 18 years plus.
18 years plus?
Yeah.
And what was your role here?
Yeah, I was a duty manager. I looked after functions. I was mainly looking after evening functions, yeah.
Okay. And you've seen it change over those years?
Oh, massive changes. I mean, I caught a purple period in the 90s. They'd spent £5.5 million on refurbishing it, and so it was a new breath of life for the building. But I mean, look at the architecture of this. Imagine working in a place like this. I do so miss it because it's a beautiful place with lovely people that I worked with, and we still keep contact with each other.
Mm-hmm.
But unfortunately, on privatisation, Gabriel, it went downhill big time.
So there you go. That's the wonderful Barry. He has a lot more to say and a lot more things to talk about during the video, which will either be going live tomorrow or, if I fall asleep tonight working on it, Saturday. Because tomorrow I've got to go and meet with our vicar. Jeff, anything happening over there before I carry on?
The Wandering Ponderer says, Mrs. Ponderer cut my hair. Yes, she did. She cut all of your hair completely off. And Station Master says, I paid 3 shillings and 6. How your old money system, is it 6 pence?
3 shillings and 6 pence.
3 shillings and 6 pence for my first haircut. The first time I went to the barbers.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Expensive now.
Alison O'Brien is here. Evening, Gabriel and Jeff. Sadly, I lost Daisy, our older guinea pig, Monday morning. She lived a good life. It's been hard for me to get over. My other 3 guinea pigs are okay. Well, that is very sad.
That is very sad. Well, a thought going out to, what was her name again, Jeff, did she say?
Daisy.
Daisy. Well, ladies and gentlemen, here's a little thought going out for Daisy. Rest in peace, Daisy. Rest in peace.
I wonder if the other ones are Hyacinth and Rose and
Yeah, I see where you're going with that one. Yes, that was your favourite comedy program from over here,
I
wasn't it?
I liked Keeping Up Appearances. Yes, I did. I was parked in front of the television with popcorn every chance I got.
Yeah, I think my favourite was probably Only Fools and Horses. It was just every episode was a classic, every single one. I mean, that crew. They talk about the guys in Top Gear having a chemistry. That program, brilliant. David Jason and Nicholas Lyndhurst were just perfect. And they grew into the roles. If you look at the early ones in the series and then you look at the later ones, they did really grow into the roles. And Trig, I mean, who could not love Trig? I mean, what a character. I have had this brush 14 years. It's had 4 new heads and 5 new handles, but I've had it that long. Oh, that's classic stuff. I mean, I paraphrase, but you get the idea. Anyway, while we were in Southport, I took along my drone because I thought to myself, I haven't flown it for a while. And there's a pier there that I particularly want to tell the story of. The pier is called Burnbeck Pier, and it was built in 1867. I want to say off the top of my head, but don't quote me on that. And it was very much the centre of Southport in its time. Ships, boats would come down. They would come across from Cardiff, which is just across the Severn. They'd come down from Bristol. They'd come up from further down the coast into Somerset and Devon. And they would bring people in. And it was a very, very popular place. People went there. There was a fun fair there. It was where people went. Even the RNLI had a station on the end of it because it's the only pier in England that runs out to an island. So it is still a pier, but the far end of it is built on an island. And let me just show you the state it's in now, and then I'll tell you what's going to happen to it. This isn't edited. It's just some shots put together with some music, but it will give you an idea of what's out there. Oops, holds fire. There we go. Hope you enjoyed that. Now, there is funding in place. Oh, sorry, Jeff?
Was there a sign on that pier warning, fat Irishmen not to attempt to go across it?
It's all fenced off. You can't get near it. I mean, you would step on any plank of wood and just go straight through. I mean, it's so far gone. However, there is good news because there is all sorts of funding now. It was bought by a private company. This is a kind of a very shortened story, but it was bought by a company who were going to do stuff and revamp it, but it never happened. It fell through. Money wasn't there. And in the end, the council compulsorily purchased it. Yes, councils sometimes do the right thing. And in this case, they did the right thing and they compulsorily purchased the pier. Now, then they went about garnering various lottery funds, government levelling up funds. The RNLI desperately want to get back out there. They're putting money in. So the money is there to fully restore this pier completely. I mean, there will be people walking along where I was flying out to the island, and there'll be all sorts of things, and you're about to sit out there and have a coffee, watch the lifeboats launch, hopefully not too often. But very interestingly, and this happened in the last few days, the town council in Weston-super-Mare, if that's what they are, I think they're a town council, the council anyway, or it's Somerset Council, not Western, it's Somerset Council, have commissioned a report into the feasibility of hydroelectric power. Now, as you may or may not know, the River Severn is a triangular estuary and it's facing southwest, and it has the second highest tidal range up and down in the world, and the biggest is in Canada. And Jeff will now step straight in and tell you where in Canada.
The Bay of Fundy.
Thank you. I can never remember that. And it's the difference is like this. It's not a lot of difference. So there is a huge. I mean, you've all heard of the Severn bore, because the tide certain times of year comes in so quick. The shape of the river is a triangular funnel. It funnels all that energy in, and people surf upriver on it. It's quite amazing to watch. So anyway, they've commissioned a feasibility study, to see if there is a way of generating electric power on the island at the end of that pier. Now, I think that's fantastic, because not only will they have saved I mean, you can't deny, even in its current state, it is beautiful. I mean, it is a lovely, beautiful piece of architecture, Victorian architecture. And just to save that so people can go back on it and use it again will be great. But if that could generate green, free power, let's hope that's what comes.
I'm all for it. I'm 100% for it. If they can find the money to do it, I concur. I think they should.
There's a nuclear power plant being built just up the road in Hinckley. Maybe they could sponsor it as well. You know, we
got one 3/4 of the way built that's been sitting for 40 years in Montesano that will give you cheap.
That's true. It just sits there, doesn't it? It looks complete. Well, it is complete. They just didn't put the bits inside and start it up, did they? Crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Ryan says, I record my radio show on GWS radio on Tuesday morning. Just went.
Okay, and when's he broadcasting it, Ryan? When you actually broadcasting? Can you give us a time? And if you give us a link, if you put a link into the comments, Ryan, if you're near a computer, give us a link, and then people can click on that link and copy it, and then they can come and listen to your show when it's going live. So
Station Master says, I am sorry to hear about that, Allison. I know how fond you were of them. Yes, she was very fond of her guinea pig. There's got to be a happy medium somewhere between how short of a life a guinea pig has and, like a parrot that lives to be 100. There's got to be a happy medium somewhere.
It's crazy, because we're coming up later. It's a bit of a segue here, but We got some owl action coming up later. If you like owls, ladies and gentlemen, you're going to enjoy this quite a lot. But the owls, some of these owls live to a ripe old age. I just thought birds, I thought 10 years would be good for a bird. No, 50, 60, 70, some of these owls. And that's incredible. Absolutely incredible. But yeah, we'll come to that later. Any more comments, Jeff, before I move on?
Station Master says, Keeping Up Appearances was brilliant. Yes, it was I loved that show. I thought that it was beautifully cast and everything. And as I probably should not have said, but as I have said in the past, those of you who would have known my mother was Rose. My mother was Rose without the cigarettes.
Yeah, she didn't smoke, did she?
No. But my mother, she dressed like Rose. She talked like Rose. She was Rose.
That's brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Before we move on from Southport and meeting Barry, which was an absolutely wonderful day, I do hope you enjoy the film when it comes out. Barry's a lovely, lovely guy. And I thoroughly enjoyed our time together. But if anybody else fancies us coming to town where you live and bringing some cameras and maybe meeting you and letting you show us round, then, comment in the comments. We'd love to come. Any excuse, Jeff will tell you, any excuse, I'm on a train, I'm on a bus, I'm out of here. Any excuse. So give me an excuse. Invite us over and we'll bring the cameras and we'll do a video just like we did in Southend. I said it right, Southend. Just like we did in Southend the other week. Absolutely brilliant day that was as well. So
Barry West says, Gabriel spoke very well about you, Jeff. He loves you like a brother and said many lovely things about you, my friend.
Absolutely.
So I guess I could trust you when I'm not around, huh?
You can. I don't slag you off, brother. I do not slag you off.
I do. I
can imagine any opportunity. No.
Anybody that wants to go and say hello to Ryan, he says, I'm going to do gardening at the Red Brick Building tomorrow morning. And Station Master says, the pier is a classic case for restoration and a narrow gauge railway running on it. Yeah,
that wouldn't be a bad idea, actually. I mean, there's enough room for a turntable on the landward side, and it's quite big on the island. You could loop around. I don't know. It's actually listed as well as listing. I don't know quite what the situation is. There was an interpretation centre there. We were stood next to it. It was the White Hut, which was closed. But I managed to pull one of these out, which doesn't actually tell me an awful lot. But I have done the research about the bridge, the pier, and I'll be talking about it more in the video. But no, I think it's gorgeous, and I cannot wait to see it put back together. And I said to Barry there, I'm looking forward to us going back and walking down that pier and saying, we're going to link below to the video where we flew over this before and just do a now and then, because it's going to be amazing. And there's another place in Southport. I called it Fantasy Island. It's weird. It's like this tiny little causeway you drive out, but half of it looks like 60s infill, horrible building. The other half looks like something out of Port Merion. It's weird. It's totally weird. But you'll see it in the film. So don't forget, if you want us to come and visit, then please just make a comment in the comments below. We've got one coming up, which is going to be very interesting. We all remember Merlin, who was live on the show, I think, quite early on in our series. Merlin used to have what was termed back in the 70s and 80s a head shop. He sold crystals and he sold dream catchers and all the sorts of things that you would probably find on sale in Glastonbury today. He had a shop in Bridgnorth, up in the West Midlands there. And we met some people. I met some people in the car park a few weeks ago of Morrison's, and we did a quick interview, and they were called Cheeky Finders. Now they're from Stourport, and the lady bought her first crystal when she was 16 from Merlin in his shop. And they said, we were discussing, they said, can we get Merlin and bring him back? I says, well, we can ask him. So I found Merlin, and I said, Merlin, do you remember those people? Yeah, I know them. He said, they thought it'd be a good idea if we took you back to Bridgnorth. You up for that? Hey, that's a good idea, brother. So he was right up for it. So at some point in the fairly close future, I think they're back in town this weekend. We're going to have a little sit down and a powwow and decide when we're actually going to do it. And we're going to go back and we're going to take Merlin back to where his shop was. And we're going to go down there's a vernacular railway goes down the side of the hill with a beautiful 30s coach on it. Beautiful coach built thing. It's absolutely stunning. And of course, won't have time, but there is a beautiful steam railway. The Severn Valley Railway leaves from there. I think it's I'll be corrected within seconds by a station master down there, but I think I'm correcting saying it is our longest preserved railway in the country, and it was one of the very first preserved railways I actually went on. But anyway, so that's that. Before I move on, Jeff,
I have to interrupt you for just a second. We're losing the Ponderer. He says, have to go, chaps. My phone is low on power. See you later. The Ponderer is having internet issues. His router is dead, and they're gonna have to put new equipment in. So that's what's going on with him. He has his own channel. For those of you who haven't seen, he puts out videos on Saturday mornings. I'm not sure how prolific he's going to be for the next couple of weeks because with his internet problems. But if you have a chance, he has a big back catalog, and they're always very interesting.
And of course, if he's not able to put films out, he can still make films. So he'll have a whole suite of films to come back at us with. I believe the 20th is when he's getting a new provider, and I believe and he's getting Fiverr, ladies and gentlemen. So he's joining the 21st century, and he'll be able to upload his videos to YouTube in 15 seconds flat instead of a couple of minutes, which is much, much better.
Station Master wants to know how long is the entire length of the pier?
Good question. I will come back to that in a moment when I've looked it up. I'll have to look it up, but I don't know. It's I should know because I was flying my drone along the length of it, and I know how far I flew, but I can't remember. I will find out though and let you know. While I'm doing that, any other comments, Jeff?
Barry says anyone who gets the chance to spend some time with Gabriel will have a really interesting and enjoyable day and learn so much about what goes on into making of the channel.
Absolutely. So, again, thank you for that, Bernie. We've met Bernie. We've been down to Bodgem Station.
Barry.
I'm just saying that we've been down. We've met Bernie at Bodgem Station. We've met Barry. We've met the lovely Pete, and oh God, my memory for names. I hope they're not watching. Oh Christ, mind you, they'll understand because I kept calling Southend Southport. They'll know. These wonderful people that we meet, and I really enjoy it because it's one of the reasons I do this because. Basically, when you're a photographer, nobody sees your photographs and there's no interaction. But one of the things I love about doing YouTube, shut up. One of the things I love about doing YouTube is the interaction. Yeah. And basically meeting subscribers when people come up and say, hey, you're Glastonbury Gabriel. I go, yes, I am. Hello. I will stop whatever I'm doing. Even if I'm filming, do come up. It doesn't matter. I will stop whatever I'm doing, and I will take the time to talk to you because I love meeting subscribers. So please do invite us up. We'll come along. We'll bring the cameras. We'll buy you a cup of coffee and a cake, and we'll make a film about your town. And we can talk to you or not. If you just want us to come to your town and not be on it, you have that option. But invite us along. Tell us about your town, because that's how we find out stuff that nobody else knows, because you have local knowledge. Jeff,
I want to go back to Allison for a second and ask Allison, are you going to replace Daisy, or are you where are you at in this? I guess I'm curious.
yeah, that's good. Good question. I mean, I know if I lost a cat, it would be a long time before I replaced it, because I don't know. You get a.
Well, yeah, but we don't know where she's getting them. She might be rescuing them. She might be working with.
That's very true.
You know, if she doesn't rescue them, then they don't have anywhere to go. So
that's very true. That's very true. Okay, Bernie, Burnbeck Pier is 1,150 feet, or 351 meters for our European cousins, long, end to end. So it's not short. It's not short, but it's a strange one, because it is a pier, but it's actually a causeway out to an island, and they've turned the island into what would have been the end of a pier. So I guess you'd need to look up the actual definition of what a pier is, but it's the only one in the country that does that. It's listed, it's beautiful, and they're going to save it. So that's all good news. And we will be watching for developments. As developments come along, I will report them back to you. Can I move on, Jeff, or is there more to talk about in the comments?
Nope, we need to move along.
Okie dokie. So moving along, our vicar, Dave McGeoch, here in Glastonbury, is moving on. He's moving on to pastures new, and his last service in the town, I believe 21 years he's been here, is going to be on the 16th of August, which is a couple of weeks away. And I have been invited, I'm greatly honoured, to film his last service. So I'm going to be putting cameras in places they've never had cameras before, and I'm going to do a multi-camera thing. But before we go along and do that, tomorrow I'm meeting David in the church, and he's granting me an interview. So we can be having a chat about what he's done in the church here, how it's changed, what his achievements have been, all the sorts of things that you could talk to somebody who's about to move on about their time somewhere. And I'm really looking forward to it. I actually really like David. He's a lovely chap, and I'm really looking forward to interviewing him. We have done videos with him before where he's shown us around the church. I'll do a link to those in the video when it goes out. But yeah, lovely chap. So I haven't decided yet if that interview will go out after his service, or be tagged onto his last service, or be a part one. And I haven't decided what we're going to do with it yet, but I've got to film it first. So that's that bit of news. Other news, Andrew, I don't know, is Andrew Norris with us?
I haven't seen him yet. Ernie just joined us.
Ernie, buddy, I wanted to contact you on the 20th. I don't know when it is. I'll get you the date. You probably know already. The Beckett's Inn. The landlady there has got a new lease. It's been 25 years. There's a bit of a party. Hoping you can come down for that. I really hope you can come down. Let me know if you're coming. That'd be great. We will, of course, be there filming this event, because the Beckett's is a great pub. It's an institution in this town. The lady who's been there has been there now for 25 years, and it's really quirky. It's got a beautiful garden. Well, the garden has won awards in the Glastonbury in Bloom competition, and it doesn't have food. They don't do food, but they will give you knives, forks, plates, salt and pepper and sauce if you want it, if you bring your own food. Now, they just happen to be opposite an Indian restaurant, sit-down restaurant, that hasn't got a drinks license. Symbiosis. So you can either sit in the Indian and get your drinks sent across from the pub, or you could sit in the pub and they will deliver your Indian across the road. And apparently there's another Indian in town. There's a couple of other places. Even McDonald's will deliver there. It's incredible. But we'll be going there soon. Ernie knows it. He knows it really well. The Green Men. It's a community pub, and the Green Men are one of the community groups that use it. But that's absolutely fabulous. So welcome to the show, Ernie. Lovely to see you here.
Andrew Norris just sneaked in.
Andrew, we were just talking about you. Congratulations are in order. Andrew has been over here recently, and while here, I hope I haven't got this news wrong. If I have, Andrew, tell me to shut up. But Andrew has just heard that he's been granted Croatian citizenship. So nice one. Congratulations. I'm really pleased for you. Perhaps you can come on and tell us what difference that will make.
I was expecting knighthood.
Well, I think a knighthood will probably come. Now he's a national. They can knight him, can't they? They can give him an award now he's a national.
There's probably been people that won that were less deserving.
I would imagine. Absolutely. But anyway, congratulations. That was great news to see that happening for you there, Andrew. I'm really pleased. What else? The Olympics. Jeff and I have been talking about the Olympics. It has debacle, hasn't it? I mean, really? I can see why they want to be green. I can see why they want to be sustainable. I can see why they want to do all these other things. Oh dear. Cardboard beds with made in a way to stop people having sex on them. I mean, really? I don't know. I mean, there's been people kicked out. There's been people disqualified. There's been bad calls in the swimming. I mean, there's been people leaving. They're trying to enforce a vegan diet on these athletes, and the athletes are saying, hang on a minute, this diet is meaning that none of us are performing to our highest levels because we're not getting the proper food. So what they're doing is they're all importing their own chefs. They're importing their own furniture. It's absolutely crazy. And then there's been all this discussion about the opening ceremony. I don't watch the Olympics. I don't. But apparently the opening show, there was something to do with the Last Supper. There was demonic stuff going. I don't know. I honestly don't know. All I know is that the Olympics never used to be like this. People went there. They fought against each other in their various sports. The Russians won everything because they were all on steroids and professional people. And that was how the Olympics were. You know, the Americans and the Russians and everybody else sort of fell in behind. Now it's, I don't know. I just don't know. What do you guys think out there in the audience there? I mean, do you watch the Olympics?
The only thing that I ever spend any time watching is in the Winter Olympics. I watch curling. There's something about curling. It's such a simple sport that is appealing. And of course, back in the 80s, I was, really rooting for Eddie the Eagle. I thought that was a fascinating story.
Total hero. I went to see the film. Really, really good film.
I mean, you kind of held your breath every time he did his thing that he wasn't going to get killed.
Yeah, there was always an ambulance at the bottom and it's blue light flashing and the engine running, wasn't there? What a guy. But I think the Olympics have changed. I don't know. I don't know. It's big business now. It's too much commercialism. Wokedom has crept in. I just don't know. Anybody saying anything in the comments?
Andrew says, yes. I was having a pub lunch in a Sussex pub heading back to Mum's when Jasna called with the news.
Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. So did you have another pint? There you go. Look at that. Did you have another pint to celebrate, or did you just say, oh, that's all right, and carry on with your day as if nothing had happened? I wonder. That's brilliant news. That was brilliant news. So moving on, we've got I did mention the owls earlier on, didn't I? One of the things I did last weekend, I did two things, one on the Saturday, one on the Sunday. And one of the things I did on the Saturday was I went to an owl sanctuary where they have owls. Some are rescued, some are just not rescued, that they have them anyway, but they do well-being with them. They use them with people who have either mental illness or some other issue, and the birds are very calming, very soporific. When you've got an owl on your arm, you have a glove obviously, but there's something about an owl, just it kind of lends itself to a peaceful, thoughtful. Anyway, have a look at these. These are the owls up at Paddington Farm. This is Kopi. He's an Asian wood owl and he is stunning. Look at that. Hello, buddy. He may click at me. If he does, it's because he's a bit anxious and I'll move away. But he doesn't look too bad at the moment, does he? Well, there you go. That's just a brief look at the owls. The video is actually live on the channel. If you like owls, do go and look at it, because I've recorded a few of the displays, and Michelle, the lady who you saw walking up through the owls there, who's in charge of all of this, is talking about what the owls do, how they do things. And one of them she has on her wrist, I think it was the one that the big one that was moving around in the video there, has a grip of over 500 pounds per square inch. When it locks on, its feet have, she was explaining, have a ratchet system, a bit like is it an alligator that locks on and it ratchets and it can't open again? Well, these have the same thing. They come on and they grip and they ratchet and it won't undo. So they maintain that pressure on with no muscular effort until they choose to release it. But fascinating. And the age of these owls, I mean, I talked to Jeff earlier on, some of these owls live 30, 40, 50 years, you know, and so they're going to be around for a while. But I was invited up to, hello, Jeff's gone. I was invited up to see them because they were having an open day. So I went along there and met the birds. I had been to see them before in their old home where they were before. I think Jeff's dropped out. Is he back? There he is. Jeff's come back. We went along before to see them. So this is the second video I've done with them, and there will be more coming up. But interestingly, that lady Michelle, and I'm not sure how I feel about this, races huskies. She has a racing husky team. And we were talking when I went before about filming. She says, yeah, when it gets colder, we'll do it. Although her plan is to have them chase me. I says, because, you know, I've got a gimbal, I can run alongside. She says, no, they're much better if they're chasing you. So yeah, I'm not quite sure how this is going to work, but I'm going to have to put a camera on the back of my bike.
You should have arranged that before you discovered Maple Bars and Hamburger Helper.
Well, luckily, I have an electric bike, and it goes like what's name off a shovel. So I'm thinking I'll bolt a camera to the carrier rack at the back and pedal like Billy-O, because I don't want to be, you know. But I think we'll get some footage. But yeah,
We lost your audio.
Hang on, give me a second. Right, have I got audio back?
Yep, you're back.
Andrew, great you're phoning in, buddy. Can you ring the number on the screen? Because I'm actually using my phone as a camera tonight. Because it is a better camera than what I've got on my screen. So, yeah, if you could bring back on the 07464 number, I'm here and ready. Yes, so what were we talking about, Jeff? The owls. Yes, they were great fun. I really enjoyed those. They were absolutely brilliant.
Ernie says the Asian brown owl looks like a monkey.
He's called a monkey owl, and apparently where they live, they're in trees around monkeys, and they use that as a camouflage. So they've developed that look specifically as part of whatever they do. So yeah, they do look like, and when you get up close, his feathers look like fur on the top of his head, and it just looks like a furry monkey. It's a great, and those eyebrows, I'm sure he paints them on. Yeah, he paints them on, doesn't he? Yeah. So moving along, that's the other thing I did at the weekend. Yes, Glastonbury had its Pride Parade. Now, again, there is a film out on this on the channel, which you can go and watch if you want. What I've done is before we do that, this is Andrew. Hello, Andrew. How are you?
A short call because it's going via Croatia, of course. But anyway, someone was asking me what the benefits were of my getting citizenship.
Yes.
Well, I suppose a sense of belonging is the main one. Although I have a permanent residency, to actually have a passport will smooth things over when I go through the passport control. The second thing is makes my position there a bit more secure because, of course, Yasmin and I, we have joint property. And it also means I can vote.
Oh, of course.
Not such a big deal, but it's one of the perks, I suppose.
So does that give you dual citizenship now?
Yes, it does. Yeah, I will not give up my British or my English citizenship.
Which would be, I mean, as a wannabe traveller, and I will be travelling soon when my parents' house sells, but if you want to travel and go off and explore places, which is the best passport to use?
Well, obviously the British one, but my days of travelling are long gone. I'm just happy going from the city to the house in the country, working there, and then going back home. I'm not interested in travel anymore.
Mind you, I guess you've done lots of it.
But,
yeah.
I can't be dealing with all the hassle of dealing with airlines and airports and all that kind of stuff. And besides, like you've been focusing on Glastonbury, filming it in depth. I don't want to go to a place and get a superficial view of it. I'd much rather stay in one place and explore it deeper.
Yeah, I get that. So you come back to England, obviously, from time to time. We missed you.
Yeah, I come back for 3 weeks around this time to spend some time with my lovely mother, who's next to me here.
Hello, Mother.
Hello, Mother.
Hey up, Mother.
And then I have a week in Sussex with my good friend Kim in Lewis and another good friend Mo in Hastings.
Oh, brilliant.
And I always time it to do the Kevin's Rambles walk, and actually the one this weekend I was guiding from behind.
Oh.
Just let them all walk off.
That's always a good idea. It'd be nice sometime when you're over, we could actually face to face and
absolutely, yeah.
We'll do that at some point. That'd be good.
I would like that very much, yes, yeah. So anyway, as I say, short call. Greetings to all. Greetings to you, Jeff. Nice to see you here. And we'll catch up again.
Absolutely. Thanks for calling in, Andrew. And again, congratulations.
And greetings to everyone in the chat. All right, man.
Thank you.
Catch you later.
Bye, Andrew.
Bye.
Well, there's the lovely Andrew there. It's interesting that the travelling. I mean, I've never travelled really. Last year I went to Budapest, Prague and Venice. That's my first travel in that direction. I've been to Bruges a few times, France once and Ireland once. So I am like a puppy with a new tail. When their house sells, I will be traveling all over the place. Any more comments there, Jeff?
Allison says, I'm not thinking about getting another at the moment, but being an animal lover, I will know when the time is right.
Of course you will. Of course you will. Absolutely. Absolutely. I'm just going to move on now to the next film because we've got 10 minutes left. I wanted to get all of these films in tonight because they're all from events that I filmed this week that, I wanted you to see. The next thing is Glastonbury had its Pride event. Now, it's a much longer video, this one. So what I've done is, like pretty much the other ones, I've just taken a bit out, condensed it down, jiggled it around a bit, and put it to music. So I'm going to show you that now. But they have this great big long rainbow flag. I don't know quite how long it is, but last year when I filmed them, I put the drone over it, and it was up near the Tor. This year, they didn't do that, so we've got some footage of it marching past us. So I know Jeff's been looking forward to seeing this video. He's not seen it yet, so I'm going to run it now. Well, there you go there. Just a little sample of what went on here on Sunday. There was much more to it than that. But as you can see, that flag's quite long. And I believe it's an icon of the Pride movement. It goes to all the Pride marches all over the country. It turns up in like a big plastic box with a clip-on lid, and they take it out and unfurl it. It's huge. Absolutely huge. So there we go. That's the last of the films.
Hello Kitty says, I just love your yellow robot.
Oh, Pico, yeah, he's lovely, isn't he? I've actually there's a little button down here that mutes him because he gets a bit vocal otherwise, but I'll flip the switch because it's down here somewhere. There it is. And we'll let him have a few words. What'd you say? Yeah. Keep On here is actually a bit of a star on the internet because one of the very first YouTube videos ever uploaded had this guy on it, didn't it? You were famous. Yeah, he likes being tickled, look. There you go. I'm not going to do it again. But yeah, he was the star of one of the very, yes you were, weren't you? One of the very first, what? No. One of the very first YouTube videos ever to be released. And it was, Jeff's going to tell you the name of the magazine. It's Wired magazine, wasn't it, Jeff?
Yeah, it was Wired Magazine. If you just search for "Keep On," one word, "Keep On," Wired Magazine, the video will come up.
Oh, look, it's your house. Recognise it? Yes. So that's Keep On. Now we're gonna keep on around. Yes, we are, aren't we? Mm-hmm. You like that idea? You do? Good. So we're gonna keep. What you mean you don't like that? Yes, you do. We're going to keep him around so that when Dave does magic tricks in future, and we're going to have Dave hopefully back on a regular basis when he gets his new internet thing. We're going to sort out a schedule, and we can have this little man give his comment, because Tommy Cooper by then will be residing in deepest darkest Essex, whereas at the moment he's residing in my deepest darkest bedroom. So he's going to go on a journey soon. So Keep On here is going to be the man to keep the show in order. Jeff keeps me on the straight and narrow. He'll keep Jeff on the straight and narrow. And so hopefully everything will work out nicely. Now, there is one other thing. I'm not going to open this because it's a candle. Jeff knows what's coming. It's a candle. Now, he sent one to me and he sent one to Dave the Ponderer. And Dave the Ponderer made the mistake of lighting it. Because
I don't think they lit it. I think they just opened it.
They opened it. I've not done that yet, as you can see, sealed. Jeff sent these across because one of his favorite smells in the world is freshly rained on sagebrush, which is something that grows out there in America, and the rain falls on it after long hot spells, and it smells beautiful, doesn't it, Jeff?
It is. It's my absolute favorite scent in the desert. When it rains in the desert, it's a scent that you will never forget.
Yes. Well, Jeff decided to send Dave and I a scent we will never forget. And we will probably shiver and tremble and look very distant when we mention it. Now, I'm a great believer in taking one for the team. You're the team. I'm going to take one for you. Despite the dire warnings, I mean, Dave has written me great long letters, pleading with me not to open this. It's been in the garden. I had to bring it in for tonight's show. But I'm going to open it live on camera. What do you think? Uh-oh, he doesn't think it's a good idea. Would you like to sniff it? Yeah? Okay, then. Well, here we go. Now, before I go any further, I would just like to say a deep thank you to Jeff for thinking of us. However, I don't think he quite thought hard enough. But anyway, let's go on with this. Here we go. If we had a drum roll, I would play it about now. So here we are. Sagebrush. Do I want to open this? Should I leave it till next week, ladies and gentlemen? No. Here we go. Oh, my God. Yes. Do you go into the desert often, Jeff, when it's raining?
I guess often enough. I don't. When I went online and I saw that there was a company selling candles that was scented rain on sagebrush, I guess, but
he's not keen either. Well, I put the lid back on. What do you mean? Really? I'm sorry. I won't do it again. I promise. He wasn't impressed, ladies and gentlemen, was you? No, you wasn't. I won't do it again. I promise.
I have a feeling there are 2 candles in England that are going to get regifted.
Let's we talk about regifting, Jeff. God, I gave up smoking 24 years ago. I'm glad now. Yes, but anyway, I'm going to hand that one to my daughter. She'll like that. But thank you, Jeff, for your kindness and your thoughts and wanting to share your favourite aroma with us. but can you just let us know by letter next time when you're going to do it?
Hello Kitty says your pride is still nice and email community Brighton and London got too big people now complaining the parks get closed for 2 weeks to prep it.
Oh, for the Pride. Yeah, it's not everybody's cup of tea. I don't mind. I really don't mind this. Normally, I find it's a good excuse for a party, and there was partying going on, and there was food, and you know me when there's cakes, and I'm anybody's for a cake. It was a good day out.
Andrew says, go ahead.
Yeah, as you can say, it's not everybody's cup of tea, but it happens, and I like to report on things that happen. And you know, I can understand in the bigger places it's a huge thing, and it goes on and on and on. In fact, I think it's Pride Month, isn't it? Not day. We have a day, but I think it's part of Pride Month. It is what it is. Come on, Jeff. Comments?
Andrew says, I love the smell of the little white flowers on a privet hedge. It's a smell from my childhood. I wish I could bottle that. I wonder if that's what we call honeysuckle.
I don't know. I mean, Andrew probably knows what it is actually called and can tell us. Because my mum loved honeysuckle. It was one of her smells that she liked. Lily of the Valley was another one.
Well, apparently there's my nose there's something up with, I don't know, but I like honeysuckle.
I would like to point out, ladies and gentlemen, my esteemed colleague here, Jeff, is actually colourblind. I think he's actually smell blind as well, but never mind. We won't go into that too much. Well, I guess if you want to sum up in the comments, Jeff, it's 9 o'clock.
Andrew says, no, Jeff, not honeysuckle. I don't know. I hope I get to experience the flowers on a privet hedge when I come over.
Whatever it is, yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
Barry West says, how much time do you get off from driving, Jeff? Well, it's the way that it works is I have an electronic timer in my truck. And I can drive 70 hours in 8 days. And every day, on the 8th day, those hours roll back into what I have available. And I had 4 hours. When I pulled in here, I had 4 hours left. So I'm done until tomorrow morning. As soon as I stop for 34 hours, I get all of my 70 back. That's how it works. So when I leave here tomorrow morning, I'll have my 70 hours back. I'm actually delivering this load in Marshalltown, Iowa, Monday morning at 7 a.m.
And how far away is that from where you are now?
I'm going to guess about 950 miles, something like that.
So you're going to drive the next couple of days. That's a couple of 450-mile days, or a 500 and a 300 or something.
Yeah, I'm not going to be in a big hurry to leave here tomorrow. I'm doing laundry and I'm getting some stuff done. So,
because Jeff has, I'm sure he won't mind me telling you, had a very stressful week. He's had loads dumped on him, taken away from him. He's been given schedules that are just impossible to meet. He's been working ridiculous hours, driving all times of day and night under strain. So if anybody deserves a couple of days off, you're looking at him. He's that guy over there. And so it's good that he's been able to. I actually heard him singing again yesterday for the first time in a few days. So I know he's starting to chill out. But it's a hard job that Jeff does. And the hours and the miles. You and I think, we drove 150 miles today. That's a long way.
I'm getting close to retirement. See, I turned 62 in May. I'm thinking, I don't know. If not before, I'm thinking next September. I'm thinking like not this September, but the following.
And you plan to get an RV, don't you? That's going to be fun. That's going to be real fun. Yep. Well, I guess, ladies and gentlemen, we can call it a show now. I've got a few things coming up this week. I'm interviewing the vicar tomorrow. I believe I've got something on Sunday, but I can't think what it is. And I've got some bits and pieces coming up next week as well. But in the meantime, I hope you enjoyed this show. I'm sorry it had to move to Thursday. It was because of Jeff's schedule that we've just discussed. And I was doing some other stuff. And then I was in Weston-super-Mare yesterday, and I've been in Bristol today. So it's been a pickledy week, but we've got through, and I think we've had an interesting show, and I hope you've enjoyed it. As ever, it's been an absolute privilege and an honour to sit here with Jeff and do the show with you. It was great with Barry in Weston this week. Again, we're going to be going over there. There's more to be seen there, actually. But yes, so I'll say good night. Jeff, do you want to say good night?
Yeah. Good night, everybody. It was fun. We had some new people here tonight. Hello, Kitty, and hope to see them again. Hope Allison. I hope that you know you are able to continue on after the loss of Daisy, and you know the world is a better place for having people like you that care about these little animals. Take care of them. And congratulations, Andrew, station master. Watched your video of your layout. Don't think I commented because it was a crazy morning, but I'm enjoying those videos a lot. And remember the Ponder's video Saturday morning? Well, probably not this Saturday because he's having internet issues, but he'll be back. And yeah.
Excellent. And anything, would you like to say anything before we go? That's your final word on the subject.
I think he's mad at you.
Yeah, it's that candle. I'm sorry. I'm really. Don't look at me like that. He's got these eyes. They're boring. Just don't do it. That's it. Look away. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, we will see you. All three of us will be back 2 weeks' time on a Tuesday. But for now, it's been wonderful having you all here, and I look forward to seeing you all soon. Bye-bye.
Bye, everybody.